So, when I started watching this new anime called Demons of the Shadow Realm, I honestly thought I knew exactly what kind of show this was going to be. It felt like a very typical medieval setting. You've got a small village, people farming, hunting, just living a simple life. Even the way they talk about dragons, it all feels normal for that kind of world. But the interesting part is, this isn't just a peaceful setup. Episode 1 completely flips the world later. At first, nothing really stands out. But then, that dragon thing turns out to be something completely different. Those are not dragons. They turned out to be helicopters. And that's the moment where everything changes. Because right before that, you're watching Yuru hunting birds with a bow and arrow. And suddenly, there are soldiers with guns attacking the village. The contrast is so sharp that it doesn't even feel like a transition. It just switches from a normal village life to full modern warfare. And what I liked is how the anime sets all of this up without making it obvious. Like, those lines in the sky? They call them trails of dragons. At first, you just accept it, because that's how the world is presented. Even Yuro's sister being locked in a cage feels strange, but the story treats it so normally that you don't question it. So when everything finally gets revealed, it hits harder, because the show never directly tells you something is wrong. And honestly, that kind of writing makes sense, because this is from the same author as Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. So, that slow setup and later payoff, you can already see it here. And then once the attack starts, there's no slow buildup. It goes straight from calm village life to complete chaos. And Yuru is stuck right in the middle of it, with a bow and arrow, while everyone else is using modern weapons. That's probably the part that stood out to me the most. It's actually amazing how they even pulled this off. Another thing I noticed was the design. Especially those two daemons, left and right. They don't just look cool, they actually feel like they belong to that world. Like something people in that village would worship or fear. Also, one thing to be aware, the word Daemons here is different from the word demons. In the anime, they're called Tsugai, basically paired spiritual beings connected to a master. So they feel more like guardians or familiars than evil monsters. And even small details like the eyes of the characters, it just adds to the overall feel. But the moment that stayed with me the most was in episode 2. Because in episode 1, Yuru literally says he wouldn't mind living in that village his whole life. That was everything to him. And then, within a few hours, all of that is gone, and he's forced to leave the village completely. There's this scene where he's sitting in a car, looking at the city lights at night. And that contrast is what made the scene hit for me. Just a little while ago, he was living this completely isolated village life. And now he's suddenly outside of all of it, seeing an entirely different world. So yeah, I really didn't expect this kind of shift at all. It starts off feeling very simple and familiar, but then it completely changes direction halfway through episode 1. And honestly, after just 2 episodes, I'm already interested to see where this goes.